It's Kenneth for Pioneers Passages here in front of the Palm Springs Plaza Theatre. It's being refurbished, and I'm gonna go check on the progress in a hard hat tour.
The theater was opened as a movie house, and you'll see when we get to inside on the stage, that creates some of the restrictions in terms of what we can and can't do because it was built as a movie house.
The land for the theater was purchased in 1936 by Dayton, Ohio's National Cash Register heiress and businesswoman, Julie Patterson Cornell. She then commissioned the design by the architect, Harry Williams.
She wanted to do something while she was out here. So she went out to the mob-owned casino in the desert and won $1 million gambling. So she didn't want to take that money back to her husband to see and explain. So she builds La Plaza with the funds. Part of that, she builds the largest theater in town at the time, the 850 seats of the Plaza Theatre.
The very first film was called Camille. It premiered here in December of 1936, but it started the connection between Hollywood and Palm Springs, which continued in the 40s when many of our famous folks like Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, and others ran the radio shows from the stage. Those radio shows, where Bob Hope and others did the radio shows from the stage of the theater, were very strategic. At 4 o'clock, they would announce to the East Coast, 7 o'clock to the West Coast, Bob, we're here, we're in beautiful Palm Springs, downtown at the Plaza Theatre. And those radio shows broadcast throughout the country had a lot to do with building the brand of Palm Springs. Perfect weather, we all played golf today, we're enjoying all our Hollywood friends here in Palm Springs. Had a big impact on how the brand of Palm Springs, and obviously this theater as well, came to be in the 40s based on those types of experiences that people had and heard about our town. In the 50s, it was used not only for movies, but also local community groups would play here at the Plaza Theatre. And in the 60s, it was used not only for that, for movies. At one point, there was a wall put down the middle of the theater. It was divided into 2 metroplexes, small little theaters. It had that experience until the Follies took over the theater and ran for 23 years. And when the Follies left the theater went into disrepair until 2017 when the City Council bought the theater from the state for $1. This was obviously the original arches. It was all outdoors. Now they'll be completely replaced by real doors. The first layer of the lobby will be fully air conditioned. We call it a restoration, not a renovation. And it's a really important distinction. There were some people in our community who said, we should just renovate it, paint the thing and be done with it. We decided that we wanted to bring this theater back to the original 1936 designs. And by doing that, not only bring back the original look and feel of the theater, but behind the walls, spend the money to make sure that lights, sound, and projection systems are state of the art. We were fortunate that we had access to all the architectural plans, and we also had access to early pictures, color pictures, of what it looked like. Now these stencils are all original, and each one of these are going to be very carefully repainted and brought back to original. So you walk into this theater, it's a little Spanish village on each side of the walls. All of this has been protected and will be restored. And when a show started, the lights would come down, and then there was a star field on the ceiling. So sun sets in a little Spanish village, and the stars come out during the performances. We've completely protected the Spanish village. Everything but a Broadway show can be accommodated in this theater. Originally, there were 800 seats, and we've now reduced it to 702 seats. 2 reasons. One is for ADA purposes, so there'll be a lot of ADA seating in the theater, but also to make the theater more comfortable. So bigger seats, more legroom. Again, our commitment, state-of-the-art theater that's really comfortable for our patrons. But all those seats were taken out, and then we went down 3 stories, right to the dirt. If you were here at that time, we could only look at it from the balcony. You look over and you couldn't believe that they had gone down that far, but that's what we needed to do. And they recreated an original floor. Then above that, the 2nd story is all the HVAC systems. Right now, air conditioning comes from the roof. It's very inefficient, it's very expensive. All of that has been replaced by a more expensive but more efficient HVAC system, which brings cold air from the bottom. Now they're in the process of finishing the ceiling and then installing the 800 LED little lights that are going to create the star field that we talked about earlier. You'll see the sides are kind of covered up, the little Spanish village. That's all covered up, and once the scaffolding comes down, they'll start to restore the village that you see on the sides here. 2 aisles, like the original was. The stage, however, will go out 15 feet. Below us, there are 12 dressing rooms that have been completely restored with sinks and showers and bathrooms, the whole shebang. And this thing in the corner is an ADA or star dressing room. These are the original wood timbers. The theater was actually built very, very well. It's all concrete and steel. So the actual structure of the theater is in great shape. What we did is we've added steel trusses to the wood trusses in the ceiling. But this is original.
That's how they attached the stage floor was attached to these beams that you see embedded in the concrete. So there was wood on top of this that would have been the stage floor.
Think about the impact. 700 people, 4 nights a week, 52 weeks a year will be using this theater.
In December, the theater gets underway with Lily Tomlin, Billy Porter, Fortune Feimster, and Jane Lynch kicking off the season.